Everyone. It is another edition of the Georgia Alabama Sports Live Show from the College Scroggins CNAW Studios. Not Sunday night, it's Monday night because we were live yesterday from the CB Hoots Purple Practice Fall League. Had a lot of fun there and an incredible game, Bocelli and Carver. But we were presented by Glenn Smith Chevrolet GMC, Kinetic Credit Union, Coca-Cola, and Houston Clinic. Big Rich, another great weekend, another great week on Georgia Alabama Sports Live.
Yes, thank you so much, Thrift. I am excited to be here as we have had a busy day so far, and we're just getting started, especially with a huge week of games that we've got for you coming up.
Yeah, we do. And we have some 5 football games we're going to be doing this Friday night. But last Friday night, we had a bunch of Bloodbath McGrath all over the place, and we'll talk about those and more. So can't wait to get into that. We drop our rankings. We had them yesterday. We tell you why they are the way they are. As always, like and subscribe. We just get our 4,000 subscribers.
There we go.
On YouTube. We're almost at 5,500 on Facebook. We're almost at 2,000 on Instagram. We're growing, and we want you a part of it. We're posting every day. And don't forget, coming up this week, finally, it's a Houlihan's Highlight of the Week. We'll have 3 highlights. You'll have a chance on Wednesday to vote. And at 12 o'clock on Thursday at Glenn Smith, we announce the winner. So can't wait to do that and partner with both Valley Hospitality and, of course, who am I missing? Glenn Smith Chevrolet GMC, because I wanted to make sure my Coke says Coca-Cola.
Got to show the Coke.
I love very, very much so. So thank you again to all our presenting sponsors, as always, Richard. And we had a lot of fun. We'll start here, and then I'll take a break, and we'll go into a recap of the football on Friday night. The Perfect Practice CB Hoots Fall League, 10 years it's been going on.
Yeah.
I have a video, and I wish I would have sent it to Chrissy. I don't know if he's been able to post it or not. But on my personal Instagram page, Thrift Behringer, Thrift the Sports Guy on Instagram, I have a video that was clipped and highlight when I was at the Fall League in 2018. And I started actually streaming. I know I always say 2022 I started doing it off my phone. Well, it was actually before that. I already had the idea of doing it from bringing my iPad to the Fall League, doing interviews, broadcasting the game, and it was fun. Corey Black allowed us to come there and be a part of it. I interviewed some coaches too, and I was like, this is something I like doing. Now, the problem is I let the idea go away for 4 years, and I kind of regret doing that. But either way, I look back at that now and seeing where we're at as a company, see where I'm at as a broadcaster, and I sunk my teeth into the play-by-play stuff back in that Fall League in 2018, man. I remember it very vividly, man. So thank you again to Corey Black and Bryant Thomas for letting us be there. We've had a lot of fun yesterday because we got to see, I think, the 2 top teams in this area, Bocelli and Carver.
Yeah, Thrift, I'm glad that you shared that video. And, yeah, 2018, that was right around the time I was wanting to get into the industry. And yeah, you took a 4-year break, but, I think the pandemic had a little bit to do it because that put a halt on a lot of sports projects, especially, I wanted to get back into broadcasting. The pandemic happened. So I understand what you were going through, and I'm glad that you were able to bring it back 4 years later.
Yeah, so thank you, Rich.
I just had to get on my soapbox on that because, yes,
Rich,
the pandemic did slow our broadcasting careers down a little bit.
Rich had to come in with his insight. But a lot of fun. Thank you again to CB Hoots and Perfect Practice. Thank you to Bryant and Corey. They've done this for 10 years. They've helped get tons of kids to the next level. Again, the main reason for this was kids to be able to have a chance that are not playing football to get some experience before the basketball season, allow the teams to get some game action, and get them in front of college scouts. And that's exactly what's happened. And last night we saw Jadance Ford, Pookie, 40 points.
Wow.
We saw Makai Williams, Matthew Melvin. I think these are the 2 best teams. Caden Sneed, TJ Benson, Tobias Tolbert. These are the best 2 teams in the area. We are hoping, and right now it's on the schedule, that they'll face off later on in the regular season.
Oh, man.
But it was cool to get some high-level high school basketball here during football season, man.
Definitely the 2 best teams in our area. It was box office. To be on the call with you, Thrift, and just to see Jadance Ford just have that 2 shots in like a couple of minutes. He scored 6 points. To have Makai Williams slam it down. Tobias Tolbert with the 8-9 blocks that he had in the game. It was definitely worth the price of admission. And it's just one of those reminders, that we have a lot of passionate basketball fans in this community, and they are chomping at the bit. They want to see basketball back, and we're about a month and a half away from high school basketball, and it's just a little preview. And that's why I'm glad to be a part of the CB Hoops Perfect Practice Fall League, because it gives you a little bit of a preview of what's to come the next couple of months.
Yeah, no doubt about it, man. So had a lot of fun there. I can't wait to do the playoffs coming up in a few weeks. And thank you again to Bryant Thomas, Corey Black for letting us be there. Once again, you can go every Sunday. That is at Pacelli High School, and it starts at 1:30. They play 6 games all day long. There's 12 teams involved, and we'll have a champion later on. All right, we're going to take a break. When we come back from break, we'll have more. We'll recap and preview what's coming up this week. But first, we got to take and pay some bills. It's the Georgia Alabama Sports Live Show. Be right back after this.
Imagine a life-changing injury. Imagine the fear and unknown. The Houston Clinic Sports Medicine Team, the only physicians in the area with advanced certification in orthopedic sports medicine, treats sports injuries with innovative techniques. The Houston Clinic has helped nearly 1 million athletes live without pain. Imagine getting back in the game. Imagine the best game of your life. The Houston Clinic Sports Medicine Team.
For game day, work day, or any day, Glenn Smith in Opelika is loaded with GMC Sierra and Canyon trucks. Choose from a huge selection of the best-selling full-size GMC Sierras, discounted up to $13,750 off. Test drive the new mid-size GMC Canyons with a comfortable ride and strong towing, discounted up to $4,000 off. Plus, enjoy no payments until December. Glenn Smith GMC in Opelika. Get ready to drive and get ready to smile.
Even though I'm away at college, Kinetic Credit Union is still the best way for me to stay connected here and at home. With the Kinetic mobile app, I have control of my accounts wherever I go. I can easily transfer money between internal and external accounts, get money faster by setting up recurring transfers, and I can find the nearest ATM or branch right from my phone. Plus, I can add my Kinetic cards to my phone's digital wallet and enjoy quick, secure, contactless payments. By the way, Mom, I need some more money.
Kinetic Credit Union, the energy for your dreams.
For the big, for the small, the short, and the tall. Peacemakers, risk takers. For the optimists, pessimists, exhibitionists. For long distance love. For the farsighted, nearsighted. For introverts and extroverts. For the thinkers and the doers. For old friends. Coca-Cola. For everyone.
At Jack Houston Memorial Hospital, our focus is you. Even though we performed more than 1,300 joint replacements last year, we treat you like you are our only patient. Your surgeon explains your joint replacement, so nothing is a surprise. Our team knows your treatment plan, and we work together to get you back on your feet again. That's why our hospital is recognized year after year as a leader in patient satisfaction and quality of care. Jack Houston Memorial Hospital. Excellence, always.
It's a great day for a new Chevrolet from Glenn Smith in Opelika. Silverado and Colorado trucks ready to roll. Get going in a powerful new full-size Chevrolet Silverado with discounts up to $13,500 off. Drive away in the mid-size Chevy Colorado, ready for work or play. Discounted up to $4,000 off. People from all over the USA are going to Glenn Smith Chevrolet. Get ready to drive and get ready to smile.
Houlihan serves fresh, handcrafted dishes made just the way you like them. Juicy burgers, sizzling steaks, crisp salads, and shareable appetizers set the table for every appetite. Relax with friends, celebrate special moments, or enjoy a casual night out. Houlihan's delivers great food, great drinks, and great times, with 2 locations in Columbus, downtown at the Marriott Hotel and on Sidney Simons Boulevard at the Doubletree Hotel.
Welcome back, everyone. Georgia Alabama. Just made up a whole language. Chris just messed me up. You should be ashamed of yourself, Chris, for catching me up, man. And Richard thinks I never mess up. I don't know what world you live in, but I make more blunders than anyone. It's the Georgia Alabama Sports Live Show. We're back, and it's time to talk about what happened this past weekend.
A lot.
One bloodbath after another. Again, if you don't know what that is, Wild Wild West, Bloodbath McGrath, who was known for just taking and just pure destruction, taking people's lives, taking people's will. That is exactly what we see in these blowout games. Wills are being denied, destruction all over the place. And our Bloodbath McGrath games, Calvary was up by 50 points at halftime against Stem Charter. Glenwood was up by 40 over Beulah at halftime. That game, both those games were over with. Carver was on top of Columbus 42-7 at halftime. It was 7-7 in the second quarter.
Man, I thought it was going to be a great game. 7-7. I was like, man, we got ourselves a game here.
Absolutely not, man. So, but listen, first, let's start Glenwood. That was the game of the week. They came out, took care of business. They're clicking all cylinders right now, and they end up winning 40-0. The second half, they just ran the clock. Gators go to 4-1, 3-0 in the region. I was talking with Ryan Nelson today. I think this Gators team, they are a couple wins away from kind of clinching a playoff. They got mega games coming up this Thursday against the number one team in 1A, and they have the longest winning streak in Alabama and Wadley at 18 right now.
Yeah.
Then they got coming up after that Randolph County, undefeated in the region. Then they have at Dayville at home, pretty good region team. Then at Lee Scott, could be for a region championship, and they finish up at Sylacauga. So it's nonstop here for the Gators over the next couple of weeks, but they got a big one against Beulah. And same for Calvary. We were there for game day. They dominated. They were at 56-6 at halftime. They ended up winning 70-12. Both those teams are looking to play some massive games this upcoming week. Calvary hosts Brookstone, but 5-0 for Coach Brunson's team, Richard.
Yeah, Calvary is just having a great season. They're undefeated. They're getting ready for that big showdown against Brookstone at Calvary. Brookstone and Calvary, the two rivalry renewed. And the big question, Thriv, is it's on my mind. I know it's on your mind. Where are they going to fit all those fans? Because you know Brookstone's going to be bringing their fans. And I think that you're going to see a lot of folding chairs. You're going to see overflow parking in the church across the street from Calvary. You're going to have people walking to the stadium from parking far away over in those apartment complexes. It's going to be standing room only. It's going to be a lot of folding chairs because the Calvary bleachers on the visitor side is not going to fill all the Brookstone fans. But it is going to be just an absolute spectacular event to have these two schools go off and play each other. And this is the biggest game of the week by far. And I'm excited. I like hyping it up. I don't know about you, Thrift, but this game deserves to be hyped up.
Yeah, no, most definitely, man. Let's talk about some of the other scores. Harris County was down 10-3 at halftime against Jonesboro. They ended up losing it 38-10. Jonesboro is a pretty good program, though, Richard. So I'm not going to hold that too much against them. But the Tigers go to 2-3. They take on another massive game, playoff implications, Northside this Friday night. So can't wait for that. But Harris County loses 38-10. And then the other game that we broadcasted, those three, and then the last one, again, another blowout. Opelika Smith Station was 21-6 at halftime. The final score was 42-6. Again, Smith Station's not a bad program. I'm seeing major improvements. I think Blair Harrison's got something going now. It's just talent-wise, it's hard to keep up with the teams like Opelika, Auburn, Central. I mean, these are the elite of the elite, man. And they had a tough one against Opelika. They were competitive most of the game, and then Opelika ended up winning by 36. I understand this final score is not indicative, I think, of what we're seeing in the progression of the Panthers.
And I do think that Smith Station has some winnable games on their schedule, like Stanhope Elmore, like Jag. I know the Enterprise is a little bit down. I mean, they could be competitive against Enterprise. Dothan is really good. Of course, they have to play Auburn. But I like seeing the growth and development of Coach Blair Harrison's team here in his first year, and they are playing the best of the best in 7A.
Yeah, they are, man. So I can't wait to see how those games are going to play out. Another one, Kendrick Cherokee's
How
3-2,
about that?
and they got to win over Hardaway. They take on another playoff game against Spencer this Thursday, but they won 14-0 over
about that?
Hardaway. Good win for Coach Mayo.
Yeah, and there's a running back that we all need to be paying attention to. It's Lavasco Williams. He is fantastic. I can't wait to just to see him get the ground and pound and try to go for some big yards. Going up against a tough Spencer defense, we're going to have that game, and I'm so excited that we're going to be able to feature Kendrick. Right now, 3-2, and they have some more winnable games on their schedule. This looks like a team that's going to make the playoffs, especially with the schedule they have in front of them, and what a great win for Spencer or for Kendrick.
Yeah, excellent win for them, indeed. I don't know why.
I have no idea
what's happening
What
with
is going now?
It does not want to stay
Does not
proper.
wanna act right.
Stay there. All right,
Does
let's
not wanna
talk
act
about
right.
some of the other games that we didn't cover. Carver, Columbus, battle undefeated, all Carver, 63-7.
Yeah.
I knew it was going to be a blowout. I didn't know it would be this bad, and I didn't know it would be that ugly in the first half. They were up 42-7 at the half. So big win for Coach for the Carver Tigers. They take on Hardaway this week.
Yeah, that's
but-
going to be tough.
And
for
that's
Hardaway.
probably going to be another dominant win for the Carver Tigers. Pacelli goes on the road to Whitfield, a 1A really good program, 4-1
Yeah, they are.
in the GHSA. It was 28-24 late in the third, and then everything unraveled, penalties, and it just was too much to overcome late. But again, Pacelli's been in every game they played in. They were only down by 4 against Stratford at the half. They were only down by a touchdown against FPD at the half. And then the second half, the team kind of gets away from the games get away from them.
Yeah.
Coach Grider thinks that though he expects a great performance hopefully this weekend as they take on Strong Rock, and then they got obviously region games the rest of the way. Sumter County dominates Shaw. Shaw is, I honestly think if Shaw loses to Columbus side, their season's done.
Yeah,
They
I
won't make
agree.
the playoffs, and I don't know if Dangster probably won't hit 500 either because they still got to play Carver. But they're 1-4 on the season right now. If they lose this Thursday to Columbus, they'll go to 1-5. But to lose that bad to Sumter County makes me think Sumter County Carver setting up for some type of really good game.
Oh, absolutely. Shaw is my disappointing team of the year. I picked them to go 7-3. I don't understand why you're not playing your best quarterback that gives you the chance to win, and that's Aaron Grant. I know that he's being recruited by some college scouts for a receiver, so they go with the younger, less experienced quarterback in DJ Peterson. But Shaw is got to get this win against Columbus on Thursday at Kinnett Stadium. It's a must-win. It was great. They picked up their first win against Hardaway. And, yeah, they do have some winnable games on their schedule, like Kendrick, Jordan. They do play Spencer. They'll play Carver. They play on a Thursday night. But, yeah, tough loss to a very good Sumter County team. It looks like one of the top teams in 2A. And, yeah, we could have a collision course of 2 undefeateds on October 10th. And I'm going to say that could possibly be a game of the week in the state of Georgia. Could it be a possibility down in Americus that we could see maybe GPB make an appearance? Who knows?
Yeah, maybe even Georgia Alabama Sports Live if we have enough
Possibly.
people.
Man, you imagine having John Nelson on our pregame show? That would be great if we can
Cougars
be there.
get taken down by Stratford 41-14. It was 27-14 late in the second half, and Stratford ended up pulling away. They're a good program. Stratford right now, the number 1 team in the GIAA. Brookstone, number 2, and they, again, go on the road to Calvary, but the Cougars lose for the first time. It's hard taking everyone's best punch week in and week out, and they have been taking, number 1 from Valwood. They took a number 1 punch from FPD, and now they take number 2 from Stratford, and it just too much for this time, but they'll try to battle back and bounce back this upcoming Friday. Spencer takes down Jordan as well, Richard, 45-6 in that blowout. Russell County 38, Park Crossing 0. Russell County stays undefeated. It's a great win by them as well. So those are some of the scores that we had around the area, man. And I think we're really setting up for some type of region play that's going to decide who's making the playoffs and who's not in these last 5 weeks. The second half of the season is going to be a lot of fun and dissecting who's going where and who's a contender, who's a pretender. And that's what I call October. It's pretender-contender month, man, and we're going to find out who those are.
You know what October reminds me of? You watch the NFL Red Zone channel.
I did.
The Winching Hour. where wins become losses and losses become wins.
Well, there we go, Big Rich. Oh, sorry.
I know.
I didn't need anybody want to hear that.
By the way, I did happen to see that Russell County game against Park Crossing. It was on a Saturday afternoon on the NFHS network, and it was just good to watching college football, also seeing some Saturday afternoon football. Like we were at Troup County the week before. So, sometimes it works out where you have a high school stadium where you've got 4 or 5 schools in the county, like in Montgomery, that they play at the Cramden Bowl. And so that's why Russell County played on Saturday, because, you had Carver Montgomery have a game, Percy Julian had a home game, and that was on Thursday and Friday.
All right, well, what we're going to do is we're going to take a quick break, and when we come back from break, we're going to talk about the rankings.
Let's do it. Time to ruffle some feathers.
We'll see you back here in a minute on Georgia Alabama Sports Live.
For the big, for the small, the short, and the tall. Peacemakers, risk takers. For the optimists, pessimists, exhibitionists. For long distance love. For the farsighted, nearsighted. For introverts and extroverts. For the thinkers and the doers. For old friends. Coca-Cola. For everyone.
For game day, work day, or any day, Glenn Smith in Opelika is loaded with GMC Sierra and Canyon trucks. Choose from a huge selection of the best-selling full-size GMC Sierras, discounted up to $13,750 off. Test drive the new mid-size GMC Canyons with a comfortable ride and strong towing, discounted up to $4,000 off. Plus, enjoy no payments until December. Glenn Smith GMC in Opelika. Get ready to drive and get ready to smile.
Imagine making your dreams a reality, achieving your goals and aspirations, and having a financial partner that understands your dreams never sleep. At Kinetic Credit Union, we're more than just a bank. We're 40,000 members strong, with local service, personal connections, and a nationwide network. Leading-edge technology to help you make financial decisions easier, smarter, and safer. We are Kinetic Credit Union, the energy for your dreams.
I'm always on the go. But with the Kinetic Credit Union app, Kinetic is always with me. The Kinetic mobile app is virtual banking at its best. With the Kinetic mobile app, I can easily send and receive money, make a deposit, pay some bills, and I can even open up a new account, all from my phone. And I can monitor all my accounts in one place, all on the go. The Kinetic mobile app, energized banking at its best.
Kinetic Credit Union, the energy for your dreams.
Welcome back, everyone, to Georgia Alabama Sports Live Show. Thrift Barringer, Big Rich. All right, time for those rankings. Let's throw them up, Chris. Richard, I'll let you do the pleasure of doing 10 through 8.
All right, starting with number 10, the Kendrick Cherokees at 3-2. Number 9, Pacelli's got a 2-3 record, followed by Harris County at number 8, 2-3.
All right, let's talk about those. First, number 10, the Kendrick Cherokees. How about their performance to get a win over Hardaway? They go to 3-2. Pacelli, I still think they have a chance. They're top 6 in the GIAA. They played a tough schedule, not counting them out, Coach Grider. And Harris County, they got a big one against Harris at Northside. That really is going to define their season for sure. What do you think is on those three, Rich?
I think that's a must-win game for Harris County to play their most hated rival in Kinnett Stadium. That's going to be just a packed house this Friday. And just to see Harris County lose the way they did against Jonesboro, this is not the same Harris County team from 2 years ago. I think that they're young, and they're going to continue to improve under Coach Tommy Watson. But they've got a tough schedule. And you look at it, they got to beat Northside. They play Griffin. They close out the season against Mundy's Mill. But you know that they got Stars Mill and Central Carrollton on their schedule as well. So this is definitely a must-win game for Harris County.
Yeah, it is, man. So I think Harris County and Northside, really the winner of that has a leg up in making the playoffs. Number 7, I moved them up because they dominated Jordan. They beat a good Manchester team. And I'm telling you, I think Spencer rattles off a few in a row, and they get to 6 or 7 wins this year. The Green Waves are at number 7. Didn't want to drop them too far, even though they have a big one against Shaw this week that could put them either in contender or pretender status before October, and that is Columbus High.
Yeah.
And then staying in the top 5, undefeated, one of only 3 undefeated teams on this list. So the Calvary Christian Knights come in undefeated at number 5.
Yeah, and they deserve to be here. Calvary, Coach Manuel Brunson, what he's done in the year 2 of the GIAA. I know that the knock is, they haven't really played, but they beat a really good Flint River team that was a state championship contender. I know that they were playing a team that might have dressed 20 players in Southwest Georgia STEM Charter. But a win is a win, and they looked fantastic. Braxton Wilkinson has just been doing his thing as quarterback. I like where Columbus is. I think Columbus has got a schedule where they got some winnable games. I wouldn't take anything away from them losing to Carver the way they did. I still think that Coach Robert Peters has got a team that can make the playoffs. I think Andrew Smith is a very special quarterback, and they do have some players that could play. And as far as Spencer, we knew that they were gonna make that come up. They started 0-3. They are winners of 2 straight. They got a big one against Kendrick, and that could determine the winner of that game is going to make the playoffs. And then Spencer's got other big games down the road, like Sumter County, taking on Shaw, taking on Hardaway, taking on Columbus. Man, I am just so excited about this October schedule, man. It's going to be here before you know it. And you usually, when silence from Thrift, his mind is something is generating in that mind.
I didn't know Sumter County was a part of this program.
What are you talking about? Sumter County's in the same region with all these schools in Muskogee County.
Yeah, and it's Muskogee County versus everybody else.
That's right.
Who are you cheering for, Sumter or Columbus?
Oh, here's the thing. We are rooting against Sumter County. Sumter County is the only team
now Americus is just, they have literally posters being plastered everywhere saying, they got a billboard saying, this guy doesn't believe in you, Sumter County Panthers.
You know how many games we called on Georgia Alabama Sports Live where Americus watched us because we featured Sumter County?
So we can't say that we're cheering against them openly on here right now, Rich. Anyway, number 4, the Gators. Undefeated in region play. But they got a big test, okay? They've had 4 consecutive blowouts, Richard. They have been up by 40 at halftime. They take on Wadley. They've got Jarquez Wilkes, who averages 150 yards a game on the ground. They average nearly 300 in Wadley. They're on an 18-game winning streak. The Gators, though, they're 4-1, undefeated in region play, and I think every bit of team. I said 7-3, 8-2 this year, and they look like they're on that trajectory. Moving down to number 3 is Brookstone. I still think they're one of the favorites to win on the GIAA. They're still going to stay in our top 3, but Russell County deserves to be number 2 as they are undefeated right now, Richard. And, of course, the top dog, the king of the rankings so far this year, the Carver Tigers.
No question about it. Carver is number 1 on this list. The way they dominated against Columbus. Their next 2 opponents, they're taking on Hardaway, they're taking on Shaw, and I expect them to be undefeated going into that game in Americas, taking on Sumter County. As for Russell County, taking on Valley this upcoming Friday. They've got other big games against Stanhope Elmore. They got a massive game against Pike Road, and then Beauregard to wrap up the season. I think what Coach Dylan Griggs is doing, I expect Russell County to duplicate what they did last year, possibly even make it to the quarterfinals or the semifinals. And by the way, for the first time since 1998, the Alabama Riders Association has ranked Russell County in the top 10 in the 6A. So congratulations to the Russell County Warriors. First time since 98, Thrift, man. Oh, my goodness.
Chris, take the graphic down, man. I'm shaking my head. They're ranked number 2 in our rankings. I clap it up for that. I will not clap it up for the disrespect of any of the egregious writers that constantly downplay the talent in this area. They, in my opinion, they think there's one school in East Alabama that plays football. Linwood doesn't get respect. Smith Station doesn't get respect. Russell County doesn't get respect. Valley doesn't get respect. One team gets respect in this area, the Central Red Devils. They're the only program that gets respect statewide. So I will not clap it up because I think it's stupid that Russell County is just now in the top 10. I understand 6A stuff, but come on, man. You're telling me there's 8 to 10 better programs than what Russell County is right now? I'm going to give credit to Dylan Griggs and his program. They're number 2 in our rankings. That's what I'm going to clap it up for. And I don't even want to acknowledge I think, sometimes biased polls that are the Alabama Sports Writers.
I agree. I have a bone to pick with the Alabama Writers Association as well, especially when last year they didn't even give Glenwood preseason rankings for their preseason poll for the AHSAA for 3A. So, yeah, there is a bias there, and I 100% agree with you, Thrift. But when Russell County gets in that poll, you got to give them flowers, and I think that is something that needs to be recognized, and that's why I wanted to throw that out there. Trust me, I was throwing some shade at the Alabama Sports Writers Association too. I want to know who these guys are and girls. I want to know who they are because I might personally send an email to each and every one of them.
Thank you, Rich. And there's the fired up that I've been looking for. We'll take a break. We'll come back. We'll wrap it up with where we're going to be this week, preview some of the football games and more. It's the Georgia Alabama Sports Live Show. We'll be right back after this.
For game day, work day, or any day, Glenn Smith in Opelika is loaded with GMC Sierra and Canyon trucks. Choose from a huge selection of the best-selling full-size GMC Sierras, discounted up to $13,750 off. Test drive the new mid-size GMC Canyons with a comfortable ride and strong towing, discounted up to $4,000 off. Plus, enjoy no payments until December. Glenn Smith GMC in Opelika. Get ready to drive and get ready to smile.
At Jack Houston Memorial Hospital, our focus is you. Even though we performed more than 1,300 joint replacements last year, we treat you like you are our only patient. Your surgeon explains your joint replacement, so nothing is a surprise. Our team knows your treatment plan, and we work together to get you back on your feet again. That's why our hospital is recognized year after year as a leader in patient satisfaction and quality of care. Jack Houston Memorial Hospital. Excellence, always.
Even though I'm away at college, Kinetic Credit Union is still the best way for me to stay connected here and at home. With the Kinetic mobile app, I have control of my accounts wherever I go. I can easily transfer money between internal and external accounts, get money faster by setting up recurring transfers, and I can find the nearest ATM or branch right from my phone. Plus, I can add my Kinetic cards to my phone's digital wallet and enjoy quick, secure, contactless payments. By the way, Mom, I need some more money.
Kinetic Credit Union, the energy for your dreams.
For game day, work day, or any day, Glenn Smith in Opelika is loaded with GMC Sierra and Canyon trucks. Choose from a huge selection of the best-selling full-size GMC Sierras, discounted up to $13,750 off. Test drive the new mid-size GMC Canyons with a comfortable ride and strong towing, discounted up to $4,000 off. Plus, enjoy no payments until December. Glenn Smith GMC in Opelika. Get ready to drive and get ready to smile.
Welcome back, everyone. Thrift Behringer here, Richard Holdridge, and we have a great schedule in store for you this week. Today we had the Pacelli Brookstone softball, which Brookstone Cougars, Slade Silwell, getting a big win over Pacelli. Pacelli beat Brookstone at Pacelli a few weeks ago, so both those teams looking trying to make the playoffs this year. We did the Glenwood Coach Show and Pacelli Coaches Show. On tomorrow we have Westville Calvary softball. That's a mega matchup. Westville, one of the top 3A programs, and Calvary, the #1 team in the entire GIAA, undefeated. Opelika at Smith Station, you'll be there for that, Richard. That is volleyball. And then we got a tri-match of Harris County volleyball and the Tommy Watson Coaches Show. On Wednesday, we don't have Northside Columbus. That's actually Tuesday, and we won't be able to be there for that. But we do got East Coweta at Harris County and Opelika. And that is, by the way, softball. East Coweta, one of the top 7A softball programs, taking on
state champions.
Defending state champion, taking on Harris County. Flag football, Opelika at Russell County. And then we got the Brookstone Coaches Show and the Muskogee County Coaches Show. Then on Thursday, we will be live from Glenn Smith Chevrolet GMC announcing the Houlihan's highlight of the week. We got Kendrick at Spencer for a pretty good position to make the playoffs. So I can't wait for that. And we got Shaw at Columbus, another winner of that game, is putting them in a prime position to make the playoffs. And then we have Enterprise at Smith Station flag football. So 2 Thursday night football games. We got a doubleheader. Kendrick at Spencer and Shaw at Columbus. And then on Friday, Harris County at Northside. We got Brookstone at Calvary. And we got Russell County at Valley. Man, those are all games. I signed me up for all 5 of those. We had Bloodbath McGrath last week. We got games that matter this week. Columbus at Shaw, Kendrick, and Spencer, winner of both those games, playoff position. Harris County Northside, winner of that game, playoff position. Brookstone Calvary in prime position to win the region. Undefeated Calvary, are they for real against Brookstone, who's battle-tested and looking like a team that can win it all this year in Ian Headley. And then Russell County takes their undefeated team to a one-loss Valley. That should be a lot of fun as well.
Yeah, I'm really excited about this upcoming matchup. Russell County Valley used to be region rivals, going up to Ram Stadium. This is going to be our second appearance at Ram Stadium. First we did the Glenwood Valley game. Now we're doing Russell County Valley. And Valley's 3-1, but they've lost to a really good Central Clay team. And this Russell County team looks like a team that's just on fire with Bryson Riggins and what he is doing. Throw for 4 more touchdowns against Park Crossing. I'm really excited about that Brookstone Calvary matchup. I want to see if Calvary can compete with the likes of Brookstone, being in their second year in the GIAA. Brookstone has been proven. With first-year coach Ian Headley has got the team rolling, and we were hoping for that undefeated matchup, but Brookstone is going to try to bounce back after losing to Stratford Academy. And then, of course, the rivalry of all rivalries in 4A in this area. Harris County, Northside. These 2 schools do not like each other. I mean, this rivalry is really special when they're both good. And I know that this football game is got so much playoff implications. It's a must-win for both teams. And I know that Northside feels like they've got a little bit of confidence, playing Carver close. They had a bye. I think they're going to be a little bit more prepared for this game. It's a home game at Kinnett. The fans are going to be packing Kinnett Stadium. And then the fans from the county are going to make their way down to North Columbus and Harris County trying to bounce back after losing to Jonesboro last week. So I'm excited about the games that we have on Georgia Alabama Sports Live. And there, of course, we have the high school football scoreboard show. And so there's other games from around the area that I'll make sure to give score updates for you at halftime of the games.
Love it, man. So can't wait to have you doing your thing as always, presented by the Beck Center and plus the GIAA scoreboard show. And then on Saturday, Richard, we have Harris County and Calvary softball.
Boy.
Holy smokes, maybe the biggest softball game of the year. And then we'll be live from the Border Wars early in the morning, 8 o'clock. Tip-off for Glenwood Calvary, and then we got a 10 o'clock tip-off for Opelika Glenwood, and we'll be out of there for that as well. So busy week on Georgia Alabama Sports Live. All right, so and I want to end it with this, man. I think we've seen a lot of blowouts around this area, and I honestly, after halfway through the season, and we'll talk more about this on Thursday, I only think there's about 3 teams, maybe 4, that have a chance to win a state championship this year. I think Carver, I think Brookstone, and then it's between Russell County and Glenwood that maybe. I'm not ready to believe in Calvary yet. I'm saying yet. I could be changed. Pacelli has shown me that it's hard for them, and they're probably going to have to be on the road playing at Stratford at FPD, and they've already lost to both those teams this year. We got a bunch of good teams that are competitive, and I think we'll make the playoffs. But when we talk championship caliber, I think we're starting to see there's only going to be maybe 2 or 3 that have a legitimate chance to bring it home the hardware.
I agree with you 100%, Thrift. I think that Carver is the favorites to go back-to-back. I do think that Brookstone is a team that I don't look at that game against Stratford. I still think that they're one of the best teams in the GIAA that can make a championship. Glenwood, if they get the right matchup, they still have a very tough schedule, having to go to Lee Scott, having to go to Wadley, who's got that incredible win streak. And Russell County has just been a great story. And the teams that we cover, they have been competitive at times, and I know that sometimes these teams just want to try to get some morale to get ready for the next game and to possibly make the playoffs. But you're right. There's only a few teams that we cover that could win a state championship.
Well, that's our show. Thank y'all so much for watching, Richard, and that is a great point. Don't forget to tune in tomorrow morning, 6 a.m. to 9 a.m. on the Sports Visions morning show. We got a busy rest of the week for you. Cannot wait to bring you all the action as we always do. Like us on Facebook, subscribe to YouTube, follow us on Instagram, and be a part of Georgia Alabama Sports Live. From Richard Holdridge, I'm Thurp Berenstein. Thank y'all so much for watching. We'll see you next time on the Georgia Alabama Sports Live show.